Hi, this is Phil from Draw the Trigger bringing you an unboxing. Well, that's a bit of a lie because I've already unboxed it to save time. It's the new Nova Grappler trial deck. And I'll say new to us. Been out in Japan for about 2 million years. Right, without further ado, let's have a look at what you get. So, you get your deck, as you'd expect there. And you get the latest edition of the rulebook, version 2.02. A mat and a quick start guide for beginners. If you don't know how to play Vanguard, watch the anime. Right, that's how I'd sum that up. And here's the deck. 50 cards, full playable deck for one person. So let's zoom in a bit so you can see these cards. And let's begin. First one is the title card, which is Gold Rutile. He's a grade 3 and he's got 2 abilities. The first one is Auto from the Vanguard. When your rear guard's attack hits a Vanguard, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. Pretty handy. It basically means that you can theoretically turn 2 cards face up after they attack. And his own move is a counterblast of 2. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Nova Grappler rear guards and stand it. Very nice. You could do some nice combos with that. Almost certainly, when combined with the rest of the damage and flippers in this deck, you can cause quite a lot of damage once he's out. So let's put him there. Right, next up, you've got 2 death metal droids. I'm presuming that's not a reference to the genre of music. He's a grade 3, 10,000 power with a counterblast of 1, which you can use from the rearguard and the vanguard. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 3,000 until the end of that battle. That's a nice, sturdy grade 3. You generally can't go wrong with one of those on the rearguard. You could do a lot worse. Speaking of which, here's another grade 3. This is Mr. Invincible. This guy, he's not the most powerful card you'll ever run, but in this particular deck, he has his place. His first ability is just from the Vanguard circle. At the beginning of your main phase, Soul Charge 1. Choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So automatically, at the start of each turn when he's the Vanguard, you will turn one of your cards face up. His other ability works from the Vanguard or the Rearguard. It's one of the old Mega Blasts. When this unit's attack hits, you may pay the cost. So it's Soul Blast 8, Counter Blast 5. If you do, stand all of your units. So it's not one that you're going to be pulling off every game, or indeed many games. But if it does come off, it's a pretty nice one. Worth trying for, I guess. If you're running this deck as is, you're probably going to be using him. So, next up we're on to the grade 2s. You've got 4 King of Swords. That's the standard 10k attacker there. Nothing mind-blowing in that. Next up we've got, I think this is an exclusive one. This is Super Electromagnetic Lifeform Storm. It's a grade 2. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a Nova Grappler Vanguard, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So again, damage and flipping. So, more counter blaster moves, ahoy. Next up, you've got 4 special intercept cards, NGM Prototype. So, if you're not familiar with these kind of cards, they've got a 5,000 shield, but if you use them to intercept, they become a 10k shield. Extremely useful if you've got them on your rear guard. Obviously you can only use them from the front. Next up, grade 1 lineup. There's 4 Tough Boy, the 8k booster. Fairly ordinary. No special skills to him. You've seen him in the anime. And then you've got 4 of these, Oasis Girl. Again, this is a card, you'll have pretty much one of these in every clan. It's the 7,000 attacker that you can counterblast 1 to add 1,000 to its power. in Kagero the equivalent would be, say, the Iron Tail Dragon. Nice artwork. She almost stands out quite a bit against the rest of the Nova grapplers. She's quite cute. Next up, you've got the Screaming and Dancing Announcer Shout. He's a lot like Kagero's Gojo. You can use him from the vanguard or the rear guard. You can tap the unit, or rest him I guess. Choose a card from your hand and discard it to draw a card. Nice, useful, get the cards you want in your hand. And the advantage is this is one of the things you can use on the first turn, even if you go first. If you're not happy with the cards you've pulled, even if you use him as your vanguard, you ride him, tap him, and you can get yourself a slightly better hand, if you're lucky. Then you got 3 Queen of Hearts. These team up with the King of Hearts. If you got her behind, or King of Swords, sorry. If she's behind the King of Sword, she boosts for 10k. So you can't go wrong with that little combo. 20k in a column. It's a nice number to hit. And your last grade 1s is this Battering Minotaur. He's got an ability, you can use it from anywhere, Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 3000 until the end of that battle. Now while that looks like it should be pretty good early in the game, remember you might not have many counterblasts early on. And by the time you do get counterblasts, you're probably going to want to have some grade 2s, maybe even grade 3s on the field. So if that worked as a booster, great. But it looks like when this unit attacks, so it would have to be on your front row doing the attacking. Bit of a risky one that. I think I'd rather go for something a bit more solid. You'd probably want a King of Sword out by that point. Now we're on to the triggers. There's 4 critical triggers. The Shining Lady. Standard early trigger for the Nova grapplers. There's 4 Cannonballs. A plain standard stand trigger. Standard stand. 4 heal triggers. You wouldn't want to run a deck, Nova grappler or otherwise, without heal triggers. Probably. And lastly, you've got these 4 stand triggers, one of which will be your starting vanguard, your grade 0. Reason being, he's got an ability. The first, in fact, 2 abilities. The first one is when a Nova grappler rides this unit, you may call the card to the rear guard. And when it boosts, the boosted unit gets plus 3000 until the end of that battle. At the beginning of the end phase of that turn, return this unit to your deck and shuffle your deck. So he's a 6000 booster from the rear guard. He calls back on the first turn, and when you use him as a booster, he goes back into your deck, giving you another chance at a stand trigger. Theoretically, that gives you a lot of stand triggers, more than the 8 that it looks like you've got. And there you go, that's the deck. Main strategy, standing and unflipping damage. The unflipping damage thing is something that the Nova grapplers seem to distance themselves from a bit in later sets, but for this deck, it's the main focus. Does it work? You'll have to find out. We're going to have a little battle between this and Garth's Oracle Think Tank trial deck, and you can see that coming on the channel pretty soon. Thanks for watching the unboxing, and I'll see you in the next video.